Okay, again, good morning, everyone. So I hope you are still enjoying this lovely MOOC course about exploring nature-based solution in your classroom. And I think we are opening or has already opened module number 2. So I hope each of you was able to complete module number 1, where you get the necessary information about the nature-based solution and all the details about how to start and how to understand nature-based solution in your classes and what to get the first topic or first point, how to work on your learning scenario. If you weren't able to find, or actually if you haven't downloaded your learning scenario template, so still you can find it there in the introductory section, and you can easily download it and start working in the template of your learning scenario. As you can see, also NBS rubric is given here, and I hope you will have a look into it, because based on the rubric details you are going to accomplish also your learning scenario, and you are going to just evaluate the learning scenarios of 3 your colleagues or peers who also take parts in this nature-based solution course. I hope you have the same state, that there are all the ticks next to each part. Some of you recorded that they can't find all the ticks there as it's in my version. It might be because you haven't watched the video, the full length of the video, and it doesn't count if you don't watch the video whole. But necessary in this module is to complete the part 1.5 of the module, so where the quiz is, and to get at least 4 points out of 5 to get the best result. So I hope this is done and you have learned lots of things from this module 1. Now let's go to module number 2. As you can see, it should already be open in your folder or in your course information. And what you are going to learn in this module number 2 is easily stated, that what you are going to do, you are going to look into into 7 very well elaborated learning scenarios of 7 teachers based on a natural-based solution activities that they implemented in their learning scenarios. And also you are going to look into 3 really interesting websites where you can also look at some case studies that have already been done, maybe close to your town, close to your school, and also you can get inspiration from that site to use in your learning scenario, to be inspired and just maybe to show your students how such problems might be solved in their areas. And also what is really here interesting feature of those learning scenarios, you see that those learning scenarios have been translated into 12 European languages. So it's not going to be a problem if you feel more comfortable to read learning scenario in your mother tongue. I hope you will find a learning scenario in your mother language to learn. And maybe if English is good enough, so you will get it there. So go to those very interesting 3 sites you are going to use in your learning scenario, or to just get inspiration. So the first one, there is a video that was done by Greta Thunberg, and Nature Now. A really great video that maybe your students can watch together with you, because it's how I think the students are the same age. So you can influence them only if you just show them that peer, or actually their child or children or teenage at their same age can do such a lot of things in their surrounding to influence people. I go through this module number 2, and as you can see, we get to the very first point and getting to know OPLA. OPLA is a website where you can find really excellent case studies what has already been done, as I said, in your surrounding, and you can easily get into and get inspired. This first part is going to present 3 interesting links where you can go and get what you really need for your scenario. There is Nature Relation Project and also Urban Nature Atlas, where you also can go and just see how people have already done some implementation of NBS in their surroundings. Also, another link, very interesting, is Think Nature, where you also can see some interesting facts. And also there is NBS game, where you can go on a mission to solve some problems in your area or in imaginary town. And also it's full of handbooks where you can find and interviews what you might use in your learning scenario. And back to the learning scenario, when you open it, and there is the template, as you can see, the very first step there is just introduction of NBS, and you have interesting links there where you can just go immediately. After those links or websites, you have these Padlet again, where you can state your opinions or your good knowledge of those NBS resources in OPLA, maybe in Urban Nature Atlas or Think Nature website. So it will be full, I hope, because in the previous module, all the Padlets were full of really interesting ideas, and I hope it stayed the same way also in module number 2. And now we have in this part, we go straight away into such project-based learning that is necessary in our learning scenario and also in the methods you are going to use in your teaching from now with your learning scenarios. And straight away, there is the first example of learning scenario that Enrica has already produced. And you can have a look into it. As I told you, there are other languages that you can read the learning scenario. So this is the number 1, and in this part, 3 of them are going to be shown to you. Another one produced or elaborated by Anna. And as you can see, each learning scenario is aimed to elaborate or to implement different topics in it. And the last in this section, we have the learning scenario produced by Aralia. After those 3 learning scenarios, be aware that you need more time to go into the learning scenarios and to read all of them, or just go through them and to be inspired. And after those 3 learning scenarios, you have also what the authors of those learning scenarios are going to tell you, how they worked on the implementation of their thoughts in classes, and also what you should remember from their production. And as you can see, also you have there another part to read and to just also go to some web pages or website. And there is another tool where you are going to express your thoughts, and what you are going to do, as you can see, you have those 3 learning scenarios that you previously read, and now you are going to state your thoughts or answer those questions that you have there. So state something what you just be critical or just be right to points. You can just write there what you think about what you would do better, or other things that you think might be very interesting, because we still learn. Each of us is going to learn, and we just can learn by doing and expressing what is best for us or for you. Again, you have some material to study or to see, and also problem-based learning is very trendy these days. And to get really into the problematic and the things, to use. I also remind you to watch this one because there is 21st century education, and those two approaches, project-based learning versus problem-based learning, are really great explained in this educational video for you. In another chapter, we have only two learning scenarios. One was produced by Eva with very young learners, and also another one that was produced by Elisa, as you can see in these learning scenarios. So in this chapter, you have two learning scenarios to read. Also the video by the authors about what they implemented in their learning scenarios and what are the good points of it. And also several websites to go into and to do a little research there. And another template or another Padlet where you can state some thoughts and discuss problems and their solution, as you can see, about social environmental problem that were stated in the first two or those two learning scenarios produced by Eva and Elisa. And there is the final part where you are going to look into another three learning scenarios. Also, there is the explanation of environmental justice that was implemented in those learning scenarios. But first, you have to just state some good points or state some discussion thoughts there. And this is the learning scenario that was produced by Nicholas, as you see, and another one based solution produced by Juan Carlos Navarro. And those two learning scenarios are going to just implement, or the topic chosen from the learning scenario template was a natural-based solution for climate mitigation and adaptation, as you can see there. And what is another chapter is also the video about the authors, and another Padlet where you are going to state your thoughts later on after reading that scenarios. And you have to discuss how to use eco-pedagogy in the classes, pedagogy in classes. And it's almost the end of the module number 2, as you see. And don't forget that there are another chapters in your learning scenario where you also have to state aims of the lessons, some outcome of the lesson you are going to predict to get from, and also the 21st century skills that students are going to learn. There is another website where you can find all those trends or skills stated. So also another studying for you and searching. And also there is the blog where you can read some articles and really good points or statements made by other teachers. And there is the final activity in module 2. So also we want to see how you should share ideas of learning scenario implementation during remote teaching, because we face this lockdown, and in some cases you have to adapt to new ways of teaching and implementing learning scenarios, but maybe some thoughts you would like to state there, and that's all about what you are going to have a look into module number 2. So remember, there are 7 learning scenario for you to get inspired. There are several websites that you can go and to study. And also don't forget, from now on you have to think about your learning scenario, your final output of this module. And so please, I wish you to have a really great time in module number 2, to learn everything and to get as much as possible into your learning scenario. Bye!